Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Well, Judy had a medical appointment out here in Adriatica, so I thought I'd tag along and do my coffee chat out here for you. So I hope you really enjoyed it. It is a absolutely gorgeous day out here. I'm telling you, warm and sunny, and of course it is Friday. And hey, this weekend in the U.S. is the July 4th weekend, right? Because on Tuesday, July 4th comes. A lot of people are taking Monday and Friday off to have an extra long weekend for July 4th. And boy, I'll tell you, I sure hope you get to spend a lot of time with your friends and family. Judy's decorating the house and everything. She just absolutely loves it. So it's going to be a great one. Well, guys, the article that I was reading this morning, boy, does it tell a tale, that's for sure. Now, as we all know, here we are in this inflationary market with the printing presses just going wild, as we all know. And guys, think about how inflation affects the average guy. Well, with the average guy who's not invested in equities or commodities or any kind of these, digital assets or anything like that, what's happening? Well, of course, everything for him is going up and he doesn't have any countermeasure to kind of, balance it all out. And, with investments and stuff like that, because of course, his gas is going up, his groceries are going up, his rent is going up, and everything's going up. And it's literally the government reaching down into his pocket and pulling out that cash by the fistfuls. It's a form of taxation, because they're destroying his purchasing power. But guys, on the opposite end of that scale, what happens to the ultra wealthy in this event? Well, hey, look, all of the investments and equities that they're invested in and these commodities and even in the digital assets, what happens there? Well, in an inflationary environment, the cost of those things go up as well, right? Because of course it's going to take more dollars to buy them. Now, you want a real world example of that happening right now? Just take a look at Apple. It has recently crossed the $3 trillion mark for total market cap. Now, that is unbelievable. And the result of that primarily is due to this inflationary environment. And what we're about to see, guys, with all of this money printing, where do you think all of these central banks are actually putting that kind of money? Hey, it's going into all of these markets in a powerful way. You don't kid yourself. And watch and see. They're buying up government debt like no tomorrow. They don't want to say that, but that's exactly what they're doing. It's a form of quantitative easing, to be sure. And what happened there when we went through that last big, lockdown kind of deal? Hey, we saw one of the biggest bull runs in the history of the world at a time when the whole economy globally was completely shut down. No one would have expected that, would they? But that is how these markets move. That is what's about to take place. I genuinely believe it, guys. We are going to see an explosion in these markets due to the fact of all of this central bank money printing around the world. Now look, we don't have to go too far. We saw the Bank of England out there literally bailing out the gilt market not too long ago during the, just a few months back. And then you got the European Central Bank. They flat out said, hey, look, we're ready to bail out any of these big banks and that kind of stuff. Of course, the Federal Reserve is following suit. And we all know what's happening. But of course, guys, they just want to pull the wool over our eyes. Hey, the big distraction play. Oh, the aliens are coming. Let's look over here. Meanwhile, what are they doing well over here? Well, that is exactly what's going on. And you need to kind of have that in the back of your mind. Don't be duped by all this stuff that's happening. Go out there and just really see how they have played this song before in prior situations. Look at that 2008 and 9 deal. Of course, the average guy that was, kind of really affected by that was losing his job, losing his house, losing all kinds of stuff like that. And then what happened? Well, the big banks, they got bailed out into absolutely obscene amounts. Now, for you and I, if we see that, what are they planning for us? Well, the legislation, and go fact check this, look this up. In almost every Western power, whether it be Great Britain, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and of course right here in the United States, the legislation is crafted in such a way that all these banks, the big ones especially, will be protected by a bail-in. And what's a bail-in? Well, a bail-in is where they actually go in and they put a bank holiday on there. They do what Cyprus did and they reevaluate what you have on deposit in the bank. You got $10,000, you got $50,000 in there. Well, it's not 10 grand anymore. It's more like 6,500. It's not 50 grand anymore. It's more like 35, K and stuff like that. This is what's going to go on. That's how they protect themselves. That's what happens to us. But when they make bad investments, what happens to them? They get bailed out and into the tune of trillions of dollars. Now, when you think about it, we're just throwing these numbers out and we're just getting so used to hearing them that we're absolutely getting desensitized. But guys, I'm telling you what, when you think of $1 trillion, it is a phenomenal amount of money. It is insane. If you took pallets of $100 bills, stacking them upon one another, practically go to the top of the Empire State Building. That's what we're dealing with when we're talking about, $1 trillion. And here they just voted themselves in another $4 trillion. And only to take us into 2024. That is absolutely obscene when you consider that. But when you see that kind of an inflationary result, watch and see. If you don't watch an equity boom like you have never seen, and commodities, and of course this, guys, it's going to happen. They're going to be subtle about it, but when it happens, it's going to happen fast. That is my personal belief. And we just have to be aware of it. Don't let them FUD you out, because that's what's coming. They are literally trying to shake you and I out. And you just got to have those nerves of steel. That's why it's so vitally important to go out there and really, really research this stuff for yourself and get to know what you're holding and the value of it from a fundamental perspective, not only the price. Because you can talk about price all day long, but we know eventually down the road, this asset class, distributed ledger technology, is genuinely gonna change the whole wide world and how it works, and not just in our finances, right? Also in our information. Look how we meet, our social media, interacting with one another, with the metaverse and all the stuff that's coming. It is going to be amazing, absolutely mesmerizing. So guys, just stay the course. I think we're gonna see some amazing things happen in a short while. Well, I'll tell you what, I sure hope you're having a fantastic Friday, and until later on when we have an amazing video for you, I have a great one, and take care.